Pansari, and I'm back with the module 3. And some of you might wonder why this course. I'm making this course as short as possible, as compressed as possible, so that you can be ready for Python. You can just go out and build some projects in under just 2 hours, less than 2 hours. And that's my motto. By the end of the module 9, you'll be ready enough to build some projects, and we'll be building some 3 to 4 projects together. So yes, and I'm making this as short as possible, as compressed as possible, as much information as you need, so that you can start building the project. So without further ado, let's start with the module 3. Today we'll learn about conditional statements and loops. So let us first learn about our learning goals. By the end of this module, we'll understand if-else, nested if-else, loops, nested loops, and all the logic behind it. Break statement, continue statement, pass statement, and range function, list comprehension. Okay? So let's start with the conditional statements, if-else. So conditional statement allows your program to make decisions based on conditions. See, in conditional statement we have if and else. The syntax we write here is if keyword, then a condition, then a colon, and then we write the statements inside it like a block, and we give some indentation before it so that it won't show any error. The Python is indenting sensitive, so that's why we need to give some indentation. And here let's run this program. Let's write our age. Let's write 22. You're an adult. See, if you are above 18, you're an adult. If you are less than 13, child. Greater than 13 and less than 18, teenager. Let's run it again. Let's run it. Let's 15. You're a teenager. So if checks for the first statement. Suppose we want another conditional statement for it, like 13. So we'll use the keyword else if, elif. And lastly, when the default comes, we'll use the else. Now let's make this mini challenge. Write a program that it checks if a number is positive, negative, or 0. Let's write a number. If num is greater than 0, then print positive. If num is less than 0, print negative. And lastly, else print 0. Let's write 4 positive. Let's run it again. 0 0. Let's run it again. Minus 8 negative. Yeah, it works. Now the nested conditions of if and else. We can place if-else statement inside other if-else statement for more complex logic. Sometimes we need more complex logic in our program. Suppose we need to check within a check condition. That's what we need to do. Suppose we need to write a program where we check whether the number is positive, and then we check whether the number is even or odd. So here this program does that only. Let's check 8. 8 is positive even integer, so it's a positive even. Let's check 9. It's positive odd integer. Let's check minus 9. It's negative, not positive. So how do we write that? We write if statement, then inside that again the way we write if else statement, we write that, and then to complete it off, either we can write the else statement, or if the program requires, if the logic requires. If it doesn't require, then just go along with the if statement. Now let's make our challenge program. Let's copy this whole thing. Okay. We need to check for the negative even odd integer, so we can just do this. We can just copy this code, same code, but just with the number. It should be negative. Done. Let's write minus 4, negative even integer. Let's write minus 5, negative odd integer. Works. Now coming to loops, for and while. A for loop is used for iterating over a sequence. Okay, we can iterate over sequential values like list, tuple, dictionary, set, or string, even string also. A for loop does execute a set of statements as long as the condition is true. Basically, here we check the condition after we iterate, and here it iterates as long as the condition is true. Let me show you with an example. Loops allow repeated execution of code without duplication. See, if we have to write from 1 to 5, we have to write that print statement, print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead of that, we can do this, right? Suppose we have to print 1 to 5. You'll write this or what? Print 1. Then again the same statement all over again. Or we have to write 2, 3, 4, 5. Rather than that, we'll go for a for statement. See, here it was so instant, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's check this code. For I in range 5, print iteration I. So it checks what is a range function. Range starts from 0 by default to the point of the number given, but the number is not included, and the default incrementation is 1. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and not 5, because 5 is not included. If we write here 6, then we get the 5. Okay, so this is how we write for statement. This is the syntax. Now what is the break statement? With the break statement, we can stop the loop before it looped through all the items. Suppose we want to break the loop when it touches 3, right? We want it will run through 4, 5 also. We can just stop here also, but we just want the program to stop in middle of it. We use break. Same program, same conditions. Now if I is equals to 3 is equals to 3, then break the loop and come out of it. Let's run this. 1, 2, 3 and it breaks. Now the continue statement. See, here we have written print before the break statement. Here we have written print after the continue statement. Why that is? Let me show you. With the continue statement, we can stop the current iteration of the loop and continue with the next. Suppose we want to skip a number. We want to skip 3. So let's see. I in range 5, yani 0 to 4. If I is equals to 3, then continue. It skips that iteration of loop and doesn't print. It just stops the current iteration and moves on to the next iteration. So let's run that. 0, 1, 2, then it jumps to 4. Now let us see the while loop. In while loop, first we have assigned x with the 1. X is less than 5, less than or equals to 5. Print current value of x. X increments to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, as long as the condition is true, it's gonna run the loop. Suppose we write here this not equals to 5. We are suggesting when the x becomes 5, it just stops. It just stops the loop, comes out of it. We can use a break statement in it also. I is equals to 0, I is less than 9, print I. If I is equals to 2, break. That it comes out of the loop and just done. Okay, so let's first do it. 0, 0, 0 plus 2, 2, 2, break. 0 and 2. Continue. As we have said, to skip a number, we'll skip 3. Let's print that. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, skip 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Now let's come to the nested loop. So in nested loop, a nested loop is a loop inside a loop. The inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. That means, let us understand this with an example. See, for x in range 3, that means x value should be 0, 1 and 2. And see, for every x value, for 0, y should run for 0, 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. And then for 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. For 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Like that. See, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Similarly. Basically, for every outer iteration, the inner iteration runs for that much time. Now the pass statement. For loops cannot be empty. But if you, for some reasons, need the for loop with no content, put in a pass statement to avoid getting an error. For example, this. If we don't want to print anything, we just want to write the statement. It just feels like it. We write the pass statement. It doesn't show any error. But if we delete the pass statement, it shows an error. Expect an indented block. So we write the pass again and done. Let's do this mini challenge. For num in range, let's start from 10. Okay, 10 to 0 to minus 1. What? Minus 1. Now print. Now see 10, 9. Yeah. So the range syntax is start, end and increment. We can change this however we like. Okay. Let me show you an example. For I in range 3, 8. Okay. Sorry. Print I is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's do one thing. Let's increment it for 2. 3 plus 2 plus 7. Now iterating over strings and list. So let us write about Python. We can iterate over strings as well. Letter in Word and print letter. See, it prints every letter in Python. Python. Now let us see over this also. We can iterate over list, particular list elements. How many vowels are in a given string? Okay, let's write this code. Let's write our first vowel set. Okay, so we are writing a set. So yes, B, sorry, A, E, I, O, U. Now given string, so let's write the text is equals to my name is Vivek. Okay, now for I in text, if I in vowel set, let's make the count equals to 0 and count equals to 1. Okay, let's print the count. 5. A, E, I, 4, 3, 5. Yes, it's correct. That's it. Now coming to list comprehension and range. List comprehension offers a shorter syntax when you want to create a new list based on the values of an existing list. Basically, here we are using a list. Without list comprehension, we are using a for loop, and we are implementing x square in the square list. It looks a bit more lines of code, right? It does the same thing, and this on the other end does the same thing as well, but it is less lines, less and way shorter syntax. And how to write that? We write first what we need to do, then the for statement, and if we want some condition as well, like if x equals to 2. In list comprehension, we are providing the x square, then for x in range this, if x is equals to 2. If x is 2, then only it will square it up and add it to the square list. Now let's do that. It's only here. From range 1 to 6, only 2 comes once and it gets squared up and it's added to the squared list. Now using the range function I've shown you many times. This is again 2, 4. Simply start, stop, and the incrementation is 2. Now mini challenge. Create a list using list comprehension that contains only odd number from 1 to 20. Okay, so let's copy this. Let's try less amounts of odd, now from 1 to 20, right? 21, x on x, if x mod 2 not equals to 0. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Done. Now quiz. What does an if statement do? Runs code only when a condition is met. What will this code print? If 5 is greater than 3, print 5 is greater than 3. Obviously. How many times is this run? 4 times. What is the correct sentence for the for loop? This is the correct sentence. We do not use do while here. We do not use after this. We do not write loop before while. We just write while x is greater than 0. Which of this is a correct list comprehension? See, in order to make a list comprehension, should be enclosed within a list brackets, which are square brackets. Okay, and I have made a quiz, module 3 quiz for you guys, where I've omitted such conditions and some statements. You can write all those, and lastly you'll get the whole answer here. So do practice this. It's a good practice thing, and let me know if it helps you a lot. It helps you or not. So module 3 summary. If a statement control decision making in programs. Loops for while helps repeat tasks efficiently. We can use break and continue statement for different type of complex logic. We can iterate over strings, list, use list compression for concise code. Basically, list compression is used for making the code shorter, making the code more less lines. That's all. The range function generates sequence of number for looping. Coming to module 3, in the next chapter, the next module, we'll be learning about functions, error handling in the next, and we'll be defining functions, function arguments, return values, and handle errors in Python. So stay tuned for the next module, and this is your Vivek signing out. And to comment down, subscribe the channel, and let me know what else I can do and what else should I improve with this course. What else you need, I'm here. Thank you so much for watching this video.